We all long for genuine friendship, a place of trust, sharing, and leaning on each other through the toughest times. But are all those we call friends truly bringing that warmth and sincerity into our lives? Sometimes, behind friendly smiles, promising words, or flattering compliments lies selfishness and deceit. These are the friends who aren't genuine, who merely use us, and may even pull us down as we strive to rise. So, how can we recognize these signs early? How can we maintain our peace, shield ourselves from unnecessary hurt, and see through the true nature of our relationships? Stoicism, with its calmness, rationality, and clarity, guides us in identifying these dynamics, placing emotions in the right place, and acting wisely so we aren't swept up in cycles of disappointment or pain. In this video, we'll explore 7 early signs to identify insincere friends and learn how to apply stoic thinking to safeguard ourselves, preserving peace and inner strength. Stay with us until the end for a complete guide to recognizing toxic relationships while fortifying your resilience and inner strength in the face of any challenge. Let's dive in. Number 1. Conversations are always about them. In life, having sincere friends who share, listen, and understand is invaluable. However, not everyone who enters our lives brings kindness and sincerity. Some come only to perform, wearing the mask of a friend, but viewing the relationship as a stage for their ego to shine. A clear sign of such friends is when every conversation revolves around them. The stories never stray from I. Their joys, sorrows, and everything in between must always center on them. A friend who constantly steers the conversation toward themselves doesn't truly need a friend. They need an audience. When someone always turns the discussion back to their own issues, complaints, or accomplishments, we are witnessing a masked person. They wear a facade of concern to conceal a large ego. While they may say all the right things, it doesn't equate to genuine sincerity. This kind of interaction not only leaves us vulnerable to deceit, but can also exhaust our minds, as we are expected to listen without a chance to share our own thoughts or feelings. Imagine a simple situation. After a difficult day, you want to open up to a friend, but instead of listening, they quickly change the subject to their own story. Even as you try to express your feelings, they find a way to bring it back to their struggles, their successes. You realize they don't care about your emotions. They simply want someone to listen, validate, and applaud them. This isn't just a sign of a selfish friend, but also of someone lacking empathy, a key quality in any sincere friendship. Stoicism teaches us that not everyone is capable of self-reflection or understanding others. Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." When someone fails to listen, they disregard this principle, revealing a lack of concern not only for you, but also for the relationship. Someone who constantly talks about themselves isn't necessarily confident. They might actually be insecure, always seeking recognition and attention to boost their ego. To them, you aren't a true friend. You're simply a stand-in audience. Another sign is when they only call or message when they need someone to listen to their troubles or to celebrate their achievements. But when you need them, they always seem busy or distant. This behavior reveals a false friend, someone who places their interests above all else. ready to use others for their benefit. In Stoicism, balance and care for others are core values. Stoics believe that a virtuous life doesn't rely on others' validation, but on self-improvement for a higher purpose. A true friend is someone who listens, not only in happy moments, but also in difficult times. So why do we keep such people in our lives? Part of it is hope that they will change, that they'll learn to care, and that they'll understand our feelings. But is that really what they want? In reality, someone hiding behind a mask of concern isn't likely to change. They're accustomed to being the center of attention, and waiting for them to change will only lead to disappointment. Stoicism teaches us to accept reality and set boundaries for what we can control. We can't change another person's nature, but we can choose how we respond and limit insincere people in our lives. For those who always turn the conversation to themselves, ask yourself, am I maintaining this relationship for real benefit or merely for a small bit of attention and recognition from them? This is the question Stoics ask when facing a relationship that brings no inner peace. If you find yourself enduring, be brave enough to step back and remember, a true friend is one who listens and shares, not one who constantly seeks applause. We cannot control everything, especially others' behavior, but we can choose who remains in our lives. A friend who makes every conversation about themselves doesn't need a true friend. They only need an audience. Stay mindful and remember that your worth doesn't lie in being someone's audience, but in maintaining your peace, self-respect, and emotional control. When you recognize this sign, be courageous enough to set boundaries and keep your soul at peace. True friendship is never one-sided. Number 2, they always expect help but rarely offer it. When a friend only appears when they need help but disappears afterward, it's a clear sign. They don't care about you beyond what you can do for them. Think about it. Some friends, whom you haven't heard from in ages, suddenly call you up. Their initial greetings are awkward, and soon they dive straight into their real purpose, asking for a favor. You might think helping a friend in need is the right thing to do, and it is. You happily spend your time and energy assisting them, and sometimes they thank you with a dinner or a drink. But once their issue is resolved, they vanish without even a call to ask how you're doing. If someone only seeks you out when they need something, but never shows concern for your feelings or situation, is that person truly a friend? Imagine a scenario. A long-lost friend suddenly contacts you, asking for help finding a job because they're struggling financially. You're willing to help, spending time researching suitable job opportunities, even assisting them with resumes and referrals. After weeks of support, they finally secure a job and promise to meet up and thank you. But once they're settled, they go silent. The only message you receive is another request when they hit a new rough patch. When faced with a friend like this, ask yourself, does this person value the relationship, or do they just see you as a means to an end? In life, Stoics deeply understand meaningful relationships, not because they refuse to help others, but because they recognize the value of reciprocal giving and receiving. You don't need to cut off every such connection, but be aware of its true value and adjust your expectations. In an ideal life, a friend would stand by you in both hardships and triumphs. A true friend doesn't just show up when they need you. They're there when you need them. Yet, Stoic philosophy reminds us that the world isn't ideal. When you realize someone is merely using you, stay calm rather than disappointed. Stoicism advises us not to place excessive hope in others, for each person has their actions and motives. Set boundaries and offer help within what you're comfortable with, without expecting anything in return. Stoicism doesn't emphasize expecting others to reciprocate kindness, as a Stoic's kindness should come from the heart. However, it also teaches us to choose friends wisely, those who bring balance and value to our lives. Friendship is a natural exchange of giving and receiving. When one only takes without giving back, imbalance arises, and you bear the weight of that imbalance. Think of the times you felt exhausted, drained after helping someone, only to realize it was unacknowledged or never reciprocated. Over time, this not only saps your energy, but also diminishes your trust in friendship and mutual support. So, what will you do when you identify a friend like this? Ending a long-standing relationship can be hard, but Stoicism encourages independence and commitment to what holds value. Ask yourself, are you helping them because you genuinely want to, or because you fear losing this friendship? If it's out of fear, remember that this fear doesn't come from true friendship, but from a dependency you've created for yourself. For a Stoic, the worth of friendship doesn't lie in how much you give or receive, but in balance, understanding, and sincerity. You have every right to choose people who are deserving of your kindness, and if a relationship turns out to be exploitative, be brave enough to walk away. A Stoic is not cold, but protects themselves from factors that devalue life. Stoic philosophy doesn't teach us to stop helping others, but to help wisely, without dependency, and without letting our kindness be exploited. When you learn to cherish and protect your goodwill, you not only live in line with the Stoic spirit, but also build a meaningful life with genuinely sincere and enduring relationships. Number 3, they keep you out of the loop. When you've poured your heart into helping others, but seldom receive anything in return, you may begin to notice cracks in the friendship, a lopsidedness that no true friend would ever impose. Yet, there's another subtle sign that often goes overlooked: when they consistently keep you out of the loop. This exclusion isn't just thoughtlessness. Sometimes, it's their way of creating distance, leaving you feeling like a stranger, even in moments that should be shared. Such quiet exclusion can reveal much about the nature of your relationship. Are you genuinely important to them, or merely someone they remember when it suits their needs, only to forget afterward? Imagine finding out your friends are planning a vacation, brainstorming a new project, or hosting a big celebration, yet no one thinks to include you. That sting of exclusion lingers, making you wonder if you've done something wrong or if you're valued by those around you. But have you ever paused to consider how, as a follower of Stoicism, one might confront this situation? Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs?" His words remind us that life's events are part of a greater design. Many things lie beyond our control. If someone chooses to exclude you from their life, it's not within your power to change it. The only control you possess is over your reaction. You may have experienced this exact scenario. A close group of friends throws a big birthday party for one member, but you're not invited. The next day, you see photos on social media, everyone laughing, embracing, making memories. A pang of hurt and doubt surfaces. What did I do to deserve this? But here lies the perfect moment to practice Stoic thinking. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. While we can't change how others behave, we can choose how we perceive and handle the situation. Ask yourself, are these negative emotions worth the turmoil? If you spend too much energy on feeling excluded, you're granting others the power to impact your peace and emotions. In Stoicism, a person's worth doesn't lie in how others treat them, but in how they respond and hold their ground in any circumstance. There could be various reasons why a friend might decide to keep you out of the loop. Maybe they don't see the need to share, or worse, they may even seek to hurt you to satisfy their own ego. However, Stoicism teaches us that we don't need friends who lack sincerity and respect. We need friends who genuinely encourage growth, who are sincere and inclusive. If someone deliberately excludes you, it doesn't diminish your worth. Instead, it's a chance to see who truly deserves a place in your life. Being left out is never pleasant, but from a Stoic perspective, it's an opportunity to strengthen your resilience and control over your emotions. When you feel excluded, ask yourself, do I really need validation from this person to feel content? Or am I already valuable on my own, independent of others' opinions? Imagine you've always supported, helped, and shared with them, yet they still keep you on the sidelines. In situations like this, there's no need for bitterness or hurt. Live honestly and stay true to yourself, allowing things to unfold naturally. Consider, do you truly need these relationships? Do these friends bring you joy, support, and value? If not, being excluded is no longer a problem, but a natural way of shedding what no longer serves you in life. Life will always include insincere friends who exclude you and keep you out of the loop. But these moments are opportunities to practice Stoicism, training your mind and emotions to stay calm. By facing such insincerity, we realize that our worth doesn't lie in how others treat us, but in how we honor ourselves and face every situation with reason, composure, and self-respect. Number 4, they speak poorly of their own friends. On the surface, friends who constantly criticize others may seem like they're merely venting or just needing to let off steam. They might tell you about conflicts, mistakes, or even minor habits they dislike in others. Listening to such confessions can sometimes make us feel special, as if with a trusted confidant for their secrets. But is it truly trust, or simply a sign of insincerity and a narrow mindset? As a Stoic, identifying the true motives behind actions is crucial. When someone frequently criticizes their friends, it reflects not only personal discontent, but also a fundamental flaw in their character. Are they seeking sympathy, or are they revealing their true nature? Is this the kind of person who always finds fault in others to appear smarter or more righteous? This behavior could indicate that, if you weren't there, they'd be just as willing to criticize you. Epictetus reminds us, we should always be asking ourselves, is this something that is or is not in my control? Others' negativity lies beyond our control, but we can choose our response. Imagine a friend who constantly complains about co-workers, friends, or family. Every meeting seems like an endless litany of criticisms and accusations toward those they once called close. Their presence can be like a storm, casting a dark cloud over your peace and affecting your mood. In these situations, Stoicism advises us to stay vigilant and shield our peace from negative influences. Instead of letting toxic words sway us, pause and ask, is this friend adding balance and tranquility to my life, or merely stress and worry? When someone devotes so much energy to criticizing others, it's often a sign of unhappiness or insecurity within. Not only can it make your relationship with them toxic, but it also reveals a potential lack of sincerity in their friendship. If they can easily badmouth another friend today, what guarantees that they won't do the same to you in the future? A healthy friendship requires empathy and understanding from both sides. If someone only judges and divides, they're taking from your peace and precious time. Stoic wisdom encourages us to set boundaries and, when necessary, maintain distance. Some may misunderstand this as coldness, but it's a worthwhile sacrifice to safeguard your peace of mind. Imagine a familiar scenario. You have a close friend who often criticizes others. They belittle co-workers, dismiss others' accomplishments, and tell you, "Only you understand me." Initially, this might feel like closeness, as if they see you as a trustworthy friend. Yet over time you start to wonder, if they judge others so harshly, am I truly exempt? Don't be pulled into this cycle. Instead, remain steadfast and confident in yourself. Ask, do I need a friend who brings worry, doubt, and negativity, or should I seek connections that bring joy, peace, and encouragement? If you notice a friend constantly speaking poorly of others, take a clear look and ask yourself if this relationship truly adds value. Does it bring you peace, joy, and encouragement, or only exhaustion and suspicion? Don't spend too much time trying to decide if this friend is worth your trust. Focus instead on being the kind of friend you wish to have, genuine, non-judgmental, and truly enriching. Do you agree with this perspective? If so, don't forget to like this video and share your stories and experiences in the comments. I'd love to hear from you and connect. And if you have a different view, please share it so we can dive deeper into the discussion together. Now, let's continue on our journey. Number 5. They undermine your achievements. Imagine you've just completed a personal project successfully, perhaps a promotion at work or mastering a skill you've poured your heart into developing. Filled with pride and joy, you share this accomplishment with a close friend, hoping for a genuine congratulatory response. Instead, they say something dismissive like, "Yeah, that's not a big deal," or worse, "Others have done that ages ago." Comments like these may seem harmless at first, but subtly diminish your achievement, leaving you feeling undervalued. A true friend wouldn't belittle you to elevate themselves. They'd celebrate your success and perhaps even feel inspired by it. If someone frequently minimizes your accomplishments, it could be a sign of envy, a trait often at odds with genuine friendship. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of humility and openness, not only in learning, but also in acknowledging others' worth. A sincere friend embodies humility, understanding that everyone has unique talents and achievements. Such a person would never undermine another's efforts just to bolster their ego. Instead, they value and honor your achievements as something to be proud of. Looking back, you may notice that a false friend rarely celebrates your happiness, often remaining silent or even distant during your brightest moments. Why? because in their eyes, your success only highlights what they perceive as their own shortcomings. They can't bear the thought of someone close to them being happier or more accomplished. Sometimes, a disingenuous friend may go beyond silence or passive dismissal. They might ignore your presence or even turn away entirely. A real-life example: a person once shared that when he was promoted to manager, a friend he considered close cut off contact entirely. They used to meet weekly, share both ups and downs, but once he achieved that success, the friend couldn't handle his joy and abandoned him. Although it hurt, he eventually realized this was just envy manifesting as rejection. Stoics understand that envy arises from insecurity and a fragile ego. When someone seems disappointed or resentful of your success, it doesn't diminish your value. It simply reveals their lack of confidence. Such people often feel empty within, and instead of seeking self-improvement, they try to make you feel as lacking as they do. With the Stoic mindset, instead of reacting with anger or frustration toward belittling remarks, see them as an opportunity to understand the true nature of your relationship. When someone tries to undermine your achievements, it doesn't reflect the path you're on. Rather, it exposes their weaknesses and envy. Stoics teach us not to let others' words disturb our inner peace, as our worth and tranquility remain steadfast, untouched by others' jealousy or insecurity. If you feel hurt by someone downplaying your achievements, ask yourself why it affects you. Are you unconsciously relying on external validation to find meaning in your success? Stoicism reminds us that true happiness stems from within, independent of others' praise or acknowledgement. Your accomplishments aren't diminished simply because someone fails to see them positively. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone. If that friend doesn't acknowledge your effort, it's their choice. But you also have the right not to let your feelings be dictated by someone else's view. Stoics highlight that genuine confidence arises from recognizing one's value without needing praise or recognition from others. When we realize someone doesn't celebrate our success, the best response is to view them as a lesson. We can't change others, but we can choose how we respond. Don't let words meant to minimize your achievements cloud your joy. Remember, your happiness is not a measure of someone else's failure, but the result of your own hard work and pride. Number 6. They pressure you to fit their mold. Imagine someone constantly imposing their standards on you, encouraging you to act in ways they deem correct while ignoring who you truly are. This is a classic sign of an insincere friend, someone who doesn't genuinely accept you, and more dangerously, someone who gradually causes you to lose control over your own life. From a Stoic perspective, such impositions do more than erode your personal identity. They threaten the freedom of the soul, a freedom Stoicism holds sacred and strives to protect. Have you ever been around someone who makes you feel the need to weigh every word and action just to avoid their judgment? A true friend won't force you to monitor your every move in their presence. Instead, they'll encourage you to express yourself, even if that expression sometimes diverges from social norms. But with a false friend, you find yourself constantly worried about how they'll react, fearing they might withdraw or judge you if you show your true self. It's difficult to accept, but you need to realize that they don't truly accept you. They want you to change, to like what they like, to despise what they despise, and to view the world through their lens. This pressure may go beyond just external appearances. It can reach deeply into your soul and values. They might want you to change the way you communicate, how you show emotions, or even alter your beliefs. Stoics believe each person has the inner freedom and autonomy to choose how to live and respond to any situation. No one should allow others to sway their goals or beliefs. When someone tries to force you into their mold, that's not caring. It's control, even a form of intrusion on your personal freedom. For Stoics, living under the control of someone else's desires is akin to spiritual slavery. Picture a friend who always insists you act in ways that suit their expectations. You might prefer a quiet weekend with a good book, but they pressure you to go out and party, labeling you as cold or boring if you decline. They only want a version of you that's convenient for them, rather than respecting your unique nature. This mindset contradicts Stoic values of personal freedom and inner autonomy, values that a true friend should support, not dismantle. A real friend helps you grow without compromising your core values. If you find yourself morphing into a version that fits their standards, ask yourself if this relationship is worth it. Stoicism teaches us to remain calm under external pressure and to act only in line with our conscience. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own. Why should we let others' judgments eclipse our self-worth?" Another sign is when they frequently encourage or even pressure you into actions you're uncomfortable with. Have you ever felt obligated to do something just to please friends, but inwardly felt reluctant or uneasy? This could be as simple as staying out late or as significant as making a career choice you don't truly want. In both cases, you're slowly losing your individuality and autonomy. The heart of Stoicism lies in safeguarding our mind and identity from external intrusions. A true friend will always respect your differences and never push you to act against your beliefs. If someone urges you to act while disregarding your principles, it's a red flag. If a friend makes you feel like you're losing your freedom, forcing you to live by their standards, remember that they aren't a true friend. Don't fear letting go of relationships that don't offer you respect and understanding. Keep close to those who value you as you are, and be strong enough to leave behind relationships that make you feel you must wear a mask just to be accepted. Number 7. They make promises they don't keep. When someone forces you to live by their standards, they cross the line of respect and sincerity. Yet, the journey of recognizing false friends doesn't end there. One last, subtle, but noticeable sign remains. They frequently make promises, but never follow through. Their words and actions are out of sync, leaving you disappointed and disillusioned. These empty promises serve as a final warning about the true worth of the relationship. A genuine friend keeps their word, understanding that trust is precious and not easily broken. Stoicism upholds the value of consistency and honesty. Stoics believe that only when we live true to our words can we achieve inner peace and tranquility. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." To a Stoic, words reflect the essence and values of a person. A promise is not just an offhand remark, but a commitment, a bond of responsibility between individuals. In a relationship, when someone doesn't keep their word, it signifies not only a lack of honesty, but also a lack of respect. Have you ever felt disappointed when a friend agrees to meet, only to back out at the last minute with an excuse? Such actions don't just erode trust, they also impact your self-respect. Stoicism reminds us not to let others' actions dictate our emotions, but it also encourages us to discern relationships that are truly worthwhile. Consider a friend who constantly agrees to your plans, saying, "Oh, absolutely, let's grab coffee this weekend." You anticipate the meeting, prepare for it, only to get a last-minute message. "Sorry, something came up." Once or twice, you might brush it off. But when this pattern repeats, you start to realize that their agreements are just empty words, a way to maintain a shallow connection without investing real time or emotion. This type of friend will often use excuses like, "The weather's bad," "I forgot," or "I'm too tired," to avoid plans. Their presence in your life becomes a series of broken promises, and you gradually understand that you are merely a convenient option, a low priority in their schedule. Epictetus emphasized, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." A sincere person committed to a relationship knows how to keep their word. Those who can't are merely revealing their true nature, a wavering spirit, lacking in responsibility. For the Stoic, rather than being disheartened by broken promises, we learn to accept human nature. Stoicism teaches us that emotions are simply reactions to external events, and what we can control is our attitude. When faced with someone who doesn't keep promises, ask yourself, do I really need this relationship? Can I trust someone who isn't reliable? Stoicism also emphasizes protecting your inner tranquility by setting boundaries in relationships. If someone repeatedly fails to keep their word, showing no regard for commitments, you have the right to distance yourself or set the relationship at a lower priority. You don't need their presence to feel at peace. Remember, a true friend will not only be there in joyful times, but will honor their promises. A promise is an invisible thread of responsibility and mutual respect. When someone fails to honor their word, it's not only a breach of trust, but a sign of disrespect toward you. With a Stoic mindset, remain calm in the face of unkept promises. Instead of feeling angry or hurt, approach the situation rationally and be decisive about whom to keep close. Cherish genuine relationships, even if they are few, rather than waiting for those who fail to keep their word. At times, we may encounter friends who aren't truly genuine. This realization can be painful, yet it's a necessary part of understanding our self-worth and what we truly deserve. Recognizing the signs of insincere friends isn't about fostering distrust in everyone. It's a reminder to protect ourselves and preserve our inner peace. So, if these signs feel familiar, take heart in cleansing your circle of friends. True friends won't make you question your worth. Instead, they'll be a steady support through all of life's challenges. Have you noticed any other signs of a false friend? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if it resonated with you, and share it with your loved ones. This message might help them, too. Hit subscribe so we can continue this journey together, exploring Stoicism and finding inner peace and understanding. Thank you for joining, and see you in the next video.